All right, what is going on, guys? Week 2 of the Fittest Experience qualifiers. Got 3 workouts this week, just like last week. So 6 total workouts that you guys are going to be scored on. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you go and read the rules of this, or for all these workouts. There's a lot of, especially in that first one, there's a lot of kind of playing around we can do with some of the strategy for that, and we'll dive into that a little bit more. But hopefully you guys are set up pretty well for success in this next attempt here, or in this week here. You said you guys set yourself up for success in this next week. But yeah, let's dive into it. So first one here is you have a 10-minute window to establish a 3-rep max shoulder to overhead. Those reps will not count though until you finish 300 double unders. Kind of an interesting workout. This one has a lot of strategy to it, or a lot of different variations you guys can play around with to it. So obviously, just looking at it on paper, straightforward. You can just do your 300 double unders. You've probably already warmed up to your shoulder to overhead weight, or right around an opening attempt for 2 to 3 attempts. So just finish your 300 double unders, do your shoulder to overhead, call it a day. Obviously, that is one option to do it. Make sure these are done from a rack as well. But there is a couple kind of like strategy pieces we can get into with this. So if you're an athlete who kind of like uses momentum to lift, you can actually do something like a set of double unders, 1 shoulder to overhead, a set of double unders, 1 shoulder to overhead, a set of double unders, 1 shoulder to overhead. And you kind of build in that 10-minute window. Maybe you do something like 100 double unders, 1 shoulder to overhead at 80%, 80 double unders, 1 shoulder to overhead at 83%, 60 double unders, 1 shoulder to overhead at 85%, 40 double unders, 1 shoulder to overhead at opening weight, 20 double unders first attempt. That might be an option. If you guys are not super concerned about your tie break time. So going back to the rules, your tie break time is when you finish the double unders. So again, that can be if you're an athlete who's not super worried about the tie break time and wants to be a little bit more fresh for their shoulder to overhead, or you just kind of lift a little bit better with some momentum, or kind of a little bit more fatigue or kind of some extra reps in the bank per se. That can be an option. The other way that can be a viable option is if you get super fatigued from double unders and your heart rate spikes through the roof. And if you do 300 double unders, your calves are going to be so smoked that trying to stabilize that weight overhead, or 300 double unders a row and trying to stabilize that weight overhead is just going to be like miserable, or drive up out of the bottom is going to be miserable. That would be another option for people to complete the workout that way. Obviously you can do something like 100, 100, 100, doesn't have to be 180, etc. But you can definitely do double unders and then go take a set of shoulder to overhead. Obviously you can warm up beforehand, so you don't necessarily have to do it this way. You probably should be pretty warm going into this workout for your shoulder to overhead. But this is just an option for people. So probably looking at 87, 90% of your 1RM shoulder to overhead, if you guys have tested that recently, is probably 85, 87 is probably a good opening weight. So kind of keep that in mind as you guys are building or selecting weights here. So, all right, so that's workout 1. Workout 2 is a 10-minute MRAP. Depending on your division, this will change. So 4 bar muscle ups, again, chest to bar, or drop the number of pull-ups depending on your division. 8 alternating pistols. Again, that movement also changes depending on your division. And then 12 American kettlebell swings. Pro weight is 53.35. So a little bit lighter kettlebell. For this one, guys, I think it's going to be another grip test. I think that's going to be the big limiter on this one, is going to be your grip. If you are proficient at bar muscle ups, the kettlebell swings are light enough to just rip through those. The pistols are only 8 at a time, so you can move through those pretty easily. So I think this is going to be a little bit more of a grip limiter test. Luckily, we tested / trained that last week, so you guys should be a little bit more prepared for that in this week's qualifiers. I think breaking it up early is fine, especially on those kettlebell swings, just to save the grip. Smooth and controlled on those pistols for most people will be the way to go. And then having a plan for the bar muscle ups. So, if you plan on, I think this is going to be a pretty predominant retest workout. Like, I think you're going to find where your limiters are, and then on your retest, you'll do a little bit better. So, going into that retest with a plan, knowing like, hey, I'm able to do 5 rounds of 4, and then they fell apart from there. So maybe on your retest, you're like, okay, I'm going to do 4 rounds of 4, and then start breaking it up on the 5th on the bar muscle ups, and then just start chipping away from there. 4 isn't a crazy big set, but it's definitely going to start to come into play for a lot of people towards the end of this workout. For the elites, like if you are getting into that point where it is starting to, like, your reps are starting to accumulate, you're pretty much just going to want to slow those pistols down, maybe break up the kettlebell swings, and then just, you should be able to go unbroken on the bar muscle ups in this workout if you're top scorer on this workout. You're looking to pretty much use this as intervals, and the pistols and the kettlebell swings are just going to be rest to make sure you're going unbroken on the bar muscle ups. If you can push the 12 kettlebell swings, do it. I think that around a minute for top level is more than doable. I think you'll have some 10 plus rounds on this one potentially, especially if you can get out ahead a little bit faster, if you have really fast pistol speed. And can do something like 6-6 on the kettlebell swings for a decent chunk of time, or even go unbroken on them. But I think for most people, like a playing, quote unquote, playing score is somewhere in that 8 to 9 round range. So that'll be close to 100 kettlebell swings. I think it's a little over 40 bar muscle ups. Or a little over 30 bar muscle ups, and then close to 80 pistols. So a decent chunk of work inside that workout if you're in that 8 to 9 rep range inside of 10 minutes. So just have a plan on this one, guys. I always like to tell people to start out a little bit slower on their first attempts, and they can come back around on the retest after they've felt the workout out. Don't tear your hands on this one. Like, you're going to be able to retest this one, so don't tear your hands. This is definitely one that you're going to learn a lot from on that first attempt, and be able to kind of adjust your game plan going forward. So if you guys do have a community, just maybe try and watch some people that are around a similar skill level and see what their plan is, kind of chat with each other, figure a strategy out that is, that everyone's going to try, or maybe something a little bit different, and just watch each other and see how that works out for that individual, and maybe make some adjustments from there. So but yeah, have a plan going in for that first attempt, and then obviously it's adjustable on the second attempt. You can probably get 2 or 3 attempts in on this one, to be honest, especially since scores are not due till Tuesday. So but yeah, just big one on this one, guys, is grip. I think that's going to be the biggest limiter. Some people might have a bar muscle up capacity limiter or pistol capacity limiter, but yeah, just have a plan and adjust the plan on the fly if needed. And understand where that plan broke down, so that your retest can be a little bit more efficient. Last one, guys, 12-9-6, bar facing burpees, squat snatches. The pro division is 135-95. Other divisions are, looks like intermediate will use 115 and 80, and then there's a couple other variations in here. I think masters 55 to 59 or 80 to 65, and then kind of some different other variations from there. So make sure you guys look at what weight you are using for this, and don't go heavier. This one's fast though, guys. Bar facing burpees are not going to be an issue on this one. Legs are going to be smoked. It's a lot of hinge contractions as well, so that you might start to feel that low back again. Um, so a lot of bracing, but this one is definitely a little bit faster. 27 squat snatches isn't a small amount, but it's not a large amount either. Top times on this are going to pretty much be able to go touch and go the whole time. That round of 9, they might slow down the burpees a little bit to keep those squat snatches touch and go for the most part. But this one's going to be pretty fast for those top times. Like you're probably looking at under 2:30 again. So like similar to that 21:15:9 workout. I think if you guys are looking to qualify in a pro or RX division, you're probably going to have to at least do some touch and go at some point in time in the workout, whether that be on the back half or the front half. I think like maybe sets of 4 on the 12 or sets of 3. The big thing is just to keep that bar moving. So if you are doing sets of 4, it's a quick drop, shake out, back on the bar. I think that's where probably most people are going to be, is like a sets of 4 for the 12, sets of 3, and then whatever they can for the set of 6. Maybe that's singles at that point in time. But if you guys think of an Amanda 975 squat snatches, that's 21. You're only looking at 5 more. People were doing that unbroken squat snatches in that workout. So I think it's more than doable to do them unbroken here. A little bit of different fatigue than Amanda, but more than capable of doing this one unbroken. But again, you can kind of, if you know you're not capable of doing that unbroken, make sure your breaks are smart. Again, take that first attempt a little bit slower so you can make adjustments for that second attempt and make a better game plan for that second attempt. So go in with a game plan for this first attempt and then adjust on that second attempt. 4-4-4 on the first one, and then go singles from there. 4-4-4, 3-3-3, singles on the last 6, or 4-4-4, singles on the 9. Try and bust out 6 on the last touch and go. But probably looking at some sort of touch and go reps on this one. This one, super important to just get very mobile beforehand. Really good warm up. It's going to be fast. So make sure you guys are warming up for 15 to 20 minutes plus, getting that heart rate elevated. Make sure the hip flexors, the low back are very loose. Hips are loose, so you're not fighting yourself in your positions. This one's all about breathing. Maybe sit down in the bottom of an overhead squat and just breathe for a while. Open that position up. Just get very stable in that bottom position. So when you're catching, you're braced but able to breathe. You're not creating a bunch of occlusion. So those are kind of some small things that you guys can focus on for this workout that might give you guys a couple of seconds extra off of your times. As always, every second counts. So hopefully you guys found this helpful. If you guys need any other help or advice, just shoot us a message on Instagram, or one of our coaches a message on their Instagram. They're happy to help. Obviously, if you guys are clients of ours, make sure you send over your strategies before you go, and then we'll kind of chat with you guys if we think you guys need any adjustments from there. So good luck this week. Hopefully we'll be seeing you guys in Austin or wherever it is now. I don't even know. Good luck.